The rumors about my death have been greatly exaggerated. And because of that, I found this interesting thing here. You see, randomly I was on YouTube trying to find some things, and I get this ad about a true free-to-play MMORPG, or MMO, whatever it was. And I was like, true free-to-play, yeah, sure, why not? And so I clicked on it, and I went through a journey of self-discovery and, well, many other things. To be honest, it's interesting, and I want to present this to you. I have a few problems with it. I'm not sure how much this might be a true game, it might be a scam, whatever, but we're gonna get into the details of it, and you can make your own conclusion at the end, whatever it is. If it's something you might be interested in, or if it's just another fun subject for me to laugh at. On the left side we have a paladin looking dude, and on the right side we have a warlock looking dude. The thing is that the warlock kind of looks and resembles a little the fallen Eredar from Legion and whatever else they appeared in, you know, the red Draenei. So let's go. Let's look at first. What should we look at first? I know, let's see this video. This is from their pre-alpha map, and this video I think is 1 year old or something like that. You're gonna like it, trust me. Let me put my beer down and let's play it. There was the rabbit there, as you can saw. Now, oh, so goats. I didn't see the goats the first time around. Now, if it seems vaguely familiar to some of you, you know, some of the older people on my channel, some of the newer ones that just randomly found this video, it's because it's kind of a lot like Warcraft. Okay, to deny its Warcraft influences is a slap in the face. Though I don't think I ever saw material that acknowledges, you know, the Warcraft inspiration in it, but you can see that from the textures that are kind of similar to Warcraft, but, you know, of course, more cartoony and different, and the fact that the terrain kind of looks, you know, like the same damn mountains you have in World of Warcraft. They don't really let you pass over them and stuff, you know, those invisible barriers. Yeah, it looks a lot like Warcraft. Of course, the design of itself is different since it's more cartoony, more akin to Wizard 101 than to really anything else, you know, than original Warcraft 3, I would say. And yeah, here, if you weren't convinced enough that this is Warcraft inspired, look at the buildings. But you see, whatever the buildings, there's like a blacksmith here that looks different from Warcraft. I give them that. There's a pig and chickens. What I want to really get at is that this is really pops off when you look at it. Yeah, sure, whatever. This town hall is exactly the same town hall that Blizzard uses for its more human buildings. Okay? And if anything, these look quite a bit similar to some of the new assets that have been popping off when people have been presuming it's a new Blizzard is rebuilding their Stormwind and Ogrimmar. And yeah, as you can see, the Warcraft influences to it can be seen at, well, as you see here, at first glance. And there's more of them. They don't stop here. But I want to just present this, because this is the first video I saw of it, technically. And because of that, I got a little bit more curious, to say the least. Now, there is some dev diaries, but we're not gonna get into those. Apparently, the team that's behind it, I think it's either a team made out of people from the Balkans, or along the line of Ukraine or Russia or something like that. So it's European based, and I can accept that because also it's Eastern European, and that's like my favorite part of Europe, and quite frankly the only part of Europe that's really stable in this day and age, as much as you can get. First, let's go through some of the screenshots. We have the Tower of Doom. Now, you can't really look at this and not tell me the first thing that pops into your mind is, well, the tower from Lord of the Rings. And you would be correct with that. Of course, another shot of the human town that we saw earlier in the video. These ruins are older than any living being on the planet of Aragon. That's the name of the planet. We'll get into that. Let's just say that they were placed there as a council of the gods, as the council of the gods is formed. The most interesting thing to this, kind of looks like Warcraft 3, with better graphics and stuff. Of course, the catapult, which you might be like, oh, not all catapults are Warcraft. Let's be honest. These war machines are there to defend the testing playgrounds for the domination. The domination is a faction, but we'll get there at some point, because it builds up the Warcraft references. Oh, ballistas. As noble as the members of the Secret Order can be, they still need power tools to defend their lands. Ballistas. You're getting the Warcraft vibes because this is really a little bit of a throwback to the original ones. And that's all for this. And let's go to some of the other things. Here's what they really promise, and they say it's going to be for Windows, Mac OS, and Linux, but they're still in development. I think this game's been in development for 1 year, approximately, or a little bit better than that. But let's look at the key features that they have. Scaling dungeons and raids. Nice. No pay-to-win shop. Strong community involvement. In-game land property. Yes, you can get player housing in this game. If only all the annoying people from that play World of Warcraft would just move here and probably make the game better, that would be fantastic. Guild halls and diplomacy. Diplomacy isn't really something that I understand, and I found nothing regarding it at this point. It might be something I've missed or not. Massive PvP battles, that's what they all try to sell, especially games like Warhammer Online. But, you know, this is it. Yeah, that's all. These are two of the races, and this tiefling-looking woman, I think, is the same race as this warlock up here. But this is another interesting thing. The bear is a playable race. You can play as this bear. And I think as this bear and another one. And that's about it. So you might be wondering now, okay, what is this all about? You said you saw it as it being a true free-to-play game. And as you saw, they say they're not gonna have any pay-to-win shop, which makes me think it's gonna be a cosmetic shop. It's weird to try and sell yourself as the true, well, free-to-play game, since there needs to be some sort of restrictions and things. I'm not expecting King's Isle levels of restrictions like Wizard 101 or Pirates 101, but you know, there's gotta be something, a catch there. Well, there is and there isn't, because this is the next thing on their page, is that you can now make an account and get forum access, but you can also pay for that. You can make an account for free, or pay for that and get access to the developmental stages. Right now, I think it's still in pre-alpha. The last thing I saw mentioned, it was pre-alpha. So, you know, if you want to get onto that nice little game, you can pay like $10 or $30, or in this case, euros, since they're from Europe, of course, and get in and hop in and explore the game and see all its wonders. And after that, we have some links to their social media stuff. And we'll be going through a few of them. Ignore this. I'm gonna keep YouTube as the last one. Now, they haven't been on Twitch for 1 year. By Twitch's metrics, it says last year, which was June 9th. That's a little bit over 1 year, if I think about it. A month or two, doesn't matter. So, yeah, their Twitch is kind of silent at this point. They do post regularly on Instagram and on Twitter. I'm just gonna show Instagram for now because I don't have an account, and I have a weird thing going with Twitter at this point, so screw that. And the last thing they posted on their Instagram was about a giveaway, and if you can't see it, the things they were giving away for this was basically a gaming laptop. I know, funny, let's laugh, haha. A mouse and a keyboard. So they've been keeping up pretty alive on their Instagram and Twitter social medias. But let's go to their YouTube, because YouTube has the hunk of it, you know? It has the meat, the bones, it has everything you desire. And let's go through... Let's start from the beginning, 1 year ago. The first video was about a human male in character review in 360. Pretty nice. So they have these things with the characters where they present them, like the races and how you can build them. They have an African style customization. Didn't look that much into it. Asian, human, you know, your typical dwarves. Of course, you're gonna have dwarves. Minotaurs. Did I forget to mention that this game has, what's it called? Oh yeah, a faction system, where there are two factions split on opposing ends that are at war currently. I want to hear your opinion. How do you think the factions are split up from the images I've shown you here? Well, of course, many of you will just go with the normal classic things. Well, the humans are paired up with the dwarves, and the orcs must be paired up with the minotaurs, both being monster races. And to that I say, you are kinda correct. Half correct if you think that. Here is the video that we just saw earlier about that place. I think it was, in fact, let me just scroll up here since I'm bad doing this. Oh yeah, part of the pre-alpha, Sacred Order, yeah. And let's go to the other map that they have. And let's see what that one has for us. And we're gonna move here. And get a commercial for Black Desert Online. Do people even play that anymore? Whatever. No, I don't want your YouTube trial. And here we see Beast Burst Entertainment, the creators of this fine game. And the logo for Scars of Honor. To be honest, that's a pretty good name. I give them points for that one. Scars of Honor sounds pretty cool. Oh, red banners? I think you might get where this is going, you know? If you catch my drift. We have some purple things here, which might remind many of you of the Twilight Highlands. Oh, it's a pretty nice zone in Cataclysm. To be honest, it's one of the better zones that Cataclysm came with. But it's gonna get a little more interesting. Just let's enjoy this haunting map until we get to a point, you know? Yeah, that was, I think, the Cyclops thingy, don't ask me. Yeah, that looks like more of a volcanic area. Volcanic. Yeah, whatever. And here we go to my favorite part. This looks eerily similar to the undead starting zone in older World of Warcraft versions before the revamp to the Forsaken starting zone. No, the cemetery thing you get out of, and the mausoleum you come out of, the cemetery that's... And I think in World of Warcraft is next to them, but they put the cemetery behind the mausoleum in this case. You might be starting to see those Warcraft similarities be there, you know? Here we are. Huh? And they pop off really well, if you ask me about it. Oh, but let's go to the first town, technically, of this area. Like, if the last one looked very much like Warcraft, you will find that this one resembles the first bigger town you go into as Forsaken. The only difference, it seems, is that the houses are more spread apart, filling the terrain with nothingness and empty land. Note that cage there, and I think there's another one along the video. I really wish they put they have a questing thing where you can click the cage and you open it and something comes out of it. I think that would work, and you know what? It's wearing its Warcraft things on its sleeves with this. And far from me to judge for that, okay? I know my books. My books are Warcraft inspired. I've always said that. I've been honest with that. You'll never hear me complain about that. Anyway, as you can see, we have undead here with undead males. Let's go and look at this. Hopefully, okay. As you can see, that guy has the like crystal thing over his brain. They look more disgusting than the Forsaken usually do. I would say they're going through to Warhammer levels of disgusting with this one, like poxwalkers and stuff. Okay, what else? They had a Halloween stream, but didn't get into that. They spent time doing this Dev Diaries, where, you know, they talk about what they're doing and stuff. And that's all nice and all, but you know, you gotta see some meat. And to see the meat of this game, of what we basically have until this pre-alpha stage, well, we got 2 videos for that, and I think we're just gonna skip this one with the announcement day of the pre-alpha thing and go directly into this game and see how it went. The pre-alpha test. As you can see, the Bastillas. We have a bunch of humans and orcs. Yeah, those are orcs. The pre-alpha thing. Yeah, the walking animation. You get the jump button. How cool is that? You can jump. And okay, that was fun. I like that one when they stood on the sign. I think they also have included some health and mana things, though you won't really see much besides this jumping event, which make of it what you will, I guess. This jumping event is like the most you get out of the gameplay, and it seems to be split between the Sacred Order, which is the human faction, and the Domination thing, which is the, you know, other faction. And this is all for videos. There's a bunch more stuff that I found on their page that I am quite keen on showing them to you, because I spent some time gathering this information, so I'm gonna have to show it to you. First, we have this dungeon finder. Now, this person asks about the dungeon finder system, you know, and we got a confirmation from the project owner himself that there will not be a dungeon finder. Well, he says not like, you know, dungeon finder, but what he means is that you'll have channels to, well, looking for group, where you post stuff and, you know, you'll find people, make your group, whatever. In the end, not every game should have a dungeon finder if the creator doesn't want to, but I think this is an interesting thing to show it to you guys. As also we can see, the site is as old as December 2019 when the project owner became a member. I will presume that the project owner is also one of the administrators of the forum, and you know, he's been there since the beginning. So we can see that the forum is old since 2019. And this question was posted on some weird date. I'm not even sure if this is the month or that's the day, and I don't care at this point. I lost my interest very quickly with that one. Now we go on to the game development roadmap, where somebody asks them if they can have, you know, a game developing roadmap, so we can see at what stage the game is and what else should we expect. Interestingly enough, they're not gonna have a roadmap since apparently there's few of them. It's a small team in, I guess, Eastern Europe. I'm not gonna presume it's Bulgarian, but they're Bulgarian, but I will presume they're Bulgarian. That's the joke. And yeah, so they're a small team. There will be no dungeon finder. And here's their development for the thing. Their last known posted thing about their dev diaries and their diaries was on the 10th of March 2022, and it had to do with environment art, character modeling, and the beginning. Seeing how it was in March that they had their first, I guess, test, we can assume that the game is it's on a long road, okay? But let's move aside from that, since I'm giving you information on all that. Yeah, we have the classes, and this was, I seen the classes on the forum like this. I think is the only way I've discovered you can see like all the classes in the game. And you have your standard warrior, paladin, pirate. Apparently that's a classic one, but I guess the pirate's supposed to replace the rogue, ranger, which hunter, of course, witch, assassin, druid, necromancer, mage, and priest. What's the difference between a witch and a mage? Don't ask me. They have an assassin, which I think that's gonna be the rogue. But of course, that's coin flip. They have necromancers. And from what I've seen, only one race can really be a necromancer. You also get the races here, but we'll get to races soon enough. And here's the other part I want to go through. On their site, they have this crowdfunding thing with active campaigns where you can donate money and you help the team to reach their goal with certain things. This was my favorite campaign because it tells me nothing. And I just love it when somebody asks money from me and they told me nothing. Now, it's not really the same as a hobo asking you for money in the train station. But it is kind of weird when you look at it. We're willing to change the banner for each class. You want to help us speed up the process? Go ahead and pledge this campaign and be one of the first to see the results. Now, I don't think changing some banners for races is really, you know, campaign worthy. I really think that on the list of important things when developing a game, promotional material or even stuff like that that can be changed later on once you have a proper product that you can show to the world, I think that's more important than new and unique class race banners. But then again, remember how there is this thing with Valeria Sanguine, which is this blood elf rogue thing from Warcraft, that started as a piece of fan art, a piece of art. But, you know, let's say I can forgive this one a little, you know? Let's just say that while I might not agree with it that much, you know, be that as it may, you know? That's my opinion. But then we get to some other things that are weird for me. Environmental assets. Now this, you think, would be a nice thing to have. And the campaign says we all like beautiful game environments. That's what makes games God, I can't speak. That's what makes the game great. Here we have a list of several environment assets which we would like to integrate into our game. Have a look around and please pledge your support if you like what you'll see. Now, at first glance, it might look like they're asking for money to put things that they were already gonna put in. Which is a little bit strange, if you ask me. It might be me not really understanding them that well, language barrier and all, but it still feels weird in a way. For them to ask that. And they've reached this goal, so these things better be in the game at some point. Hopefully. Anyway. Sure, if you want to call this French guy a simp for donating this much, yeah, you can. Because you can send messages when you pledge. And people can see how much money you've spent. I really don't like that system. But I think any system that really puts you more forward with how you spend your money and stuff like that isn't really a good one. But then again, I prefer anonymity to exposing myself, and I guess that's why I have 2 books that are written under my YouTube name. And the last one, this one I haven't seen, and this one has a goal of 1,000 euros. That's a big chunk of money. We are sure that you love our wallpapers and want to see more of them. Well, today is your lucky day, so you can pledge to this campaign and help us make more of those beauties. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of their pledge thing, if you couldn't tell by now. And this one with the wallpaper stuff, yeah. Now, I saw a YouTuber make a video about this, where they said that he's surprised that it's an indie company that basically has not created a crowd-funded thing, a project on, I guess, Indiegogo, GoFundMe, whatever it's in there, you know? But it's still strange since they are asking for money and, well, doing a pledge campaign Indiegogo thing on their own website, where, people can send them messages with that and get this pledge icon. So don't worry, they can make money. Now, if all this money goes in to create a true free-to-play game, I accept that. But I'm skeptical when, money is involved and products are, well, with limited show capabilities, whatever you want to call it. When you ask for money, and, well, the kind of money that's being asked right now, and you don't really see any actual meat to the game, proper meat, I don't know, kind of skeptical. The fact that you don't really see a questing system or combat system in their trailer thing, and how well their event went with the pre-alpha thing, makes me even more skeptical. Because when it comes to an MMO, you gotta know what you're getting yourself into, and I, to this point, don't know what this MMO is supposed to be. Like, I look at it, but I'm not sure if it's gonna be hotbar based, like a World of Warcraft, or if it's more action orientated, like I think Final Fantasy, or if it's something new entirely, like Wizard 101. I have no idea. I didn't understand it from this, and I think many of you won't also understand what is the gameplay really like. Because you can jump, yeah, sure, you can also jump in Wizard 101. Doesn't make that much of a difference, just being able to jump. Could it be more RuneScape based? It has the possibility and potential to be RuneScape based. It even could work like Albion Online, and that will still be something. But at this point, we have kind of no idea. Now, I guess if you get into the pre-alpha things where they test stuff out, you can understand. But from all the limited information I have at this point, I don't know how the gameplay is. And that's what really scares me the most with their pledgings and their accounts and supportability. Because they're asking for money and for something you don't really see. And again, I'm skeptical. I don't really like throwing money like that onto things. That was one of the things that kept me a little bit distant from Comics Gate for a while. I want to know where my money goes. I want to know what it goes on. Yeah? But, what? Let's see what the game has to offer from another point of view. And this is like my favorite point of view. Lore. Now, to many of you that have been on here for a while, you might know that I love lore. I like knowing that the spiky porcupine guy from The Witcher is Emperor Emir from that evil empire that's looking for Ciri and stuff, you know? I like knowing stuff. Knowledge is power. Guard it well. It's one of my favorite quotes from Dawn of War. So, what is the lore of this land? Well, apparently the old gods created the planet of Aragon. Yes, Aragon. It's gonna get worse from here. And split it into two separate continents of Gromdor. Yes, Gromdor. In the west and Mynarot in the east, divided by the great ocean of the Kraken. 3,000 years from the birth of the planet of Aragon, the first living beings emerged. Let's see what are the factions for this, because I kind of teased you that there are factions in this. And you have the Sacred Order, which is the blue Order. Yeah, the parallels aren't lost on me. The Sacred Order, with their belief in the Holy Spirit, could be worse. I call them Mother Light, okay? I'm not gonna judge them for using the Holy Spirit. The peace and in the order which gives souls and life to every living creature in Aragon, their homeland, their home world. And next you have Domination, which is red. You see, this kind of looks like a Minotaur, so the Minotaurs are well represented into this game, which is the Tauren equivalent, I guess. But hold on to the idea of the Minotaurs for a while. The Domination Union was formed. A pact was signed with the blood of the race leaders. No one can break the vows given that day. No one dares to challenge the might of the Domination. Sounds pretty cool. Let's go to the Sacred Order. You see, it's nice. It has wings. Sort of shield-like thing with arrows coming up the top and down below. Some gems here. I think you can guess what races are associated with this. And I guess some weapons standing crossed behind that shield. So let's go on to the story of the Sacred Order. After the fall of Whitestone City and the devastating loss suffered by the humans, great actions were necessary. An urgent need for a hero needed to be found in their darkest hour. King Venuin led his people away from White Garden and assembled the prosperous White Song City. His great diplomatic skill managed to gather invaluable allies for the humans. King Venuin was able to present the upcoming danger, what danger, to the great craftsmen, the dwarves from Torosgard, to the nature-loving, unmatched assassins, and wisest of all, the High Elves of Lunandel. Before the end of his long reign, King Venuin stood before elven and dwarven kings in favor of the Baron, brute, fierce, and feral beings, which by time proved Venuin's trust. Human dwarves, elves, and barons united together, forming the Sacred Order. Yeah, are you with me until now? Because we still have to go. Forming the Sacred Order with their belief in the Holy Spirit, the peace, and an order which gives life to every living creature in Aragon, their home world. The need of forming this alliance was strongest when the invading orcs from the Black Mountain, yeah, united with the mighty tribe of Minotaurs from the Living River, which I like that name, to be honest. I give them points for that one. both striving to get more land for their increasing population. The power of the united races of the Sacred Order were realized when they tricked and ambushed the invading orcs and minotaurs in the Second War. If you're asking what Second War, it's a good question as any, to be honest. They never really explained it from this one. Now, they might explain it on the forum, but if you're new to their thing and you come in and you want to look at this thing, you will find yourself that you're asking yourself more questions than you really should have. So here we have the races. We have humans, dwarves, of course, a hodgepodge of high elves and night elves, and Draenei, it seems, but they're high elves, and the Baron, which you get white Baron and gender non-conforming Baron, to say it in a more nice way. But it could be said way worse than that, look at it. Anyway, this is the Sacred Order for you. If the story doesn't really make sense here and there, it's because it doesn't. It really doesn't. And let's go to the domination one. Remember that image of the Minotaur? Remember what I've told you of the Minotaur? Because we're soon getting to that, and the Minotaur are like my favorite race from this thing. And I really want to show the Minotaurs, okay? So let's go for the domination. The Orcish leader, Ingrim, yes, Ingrim, traveled far north to the Cursed Lands, seeking allies that can help him in his war against the forces of the Sacred Order. There, in the lands once owned by the humans, he found the undead people of Greystone, willing to provide Ingrim with their soldiers, only if he honors them as any other living being in Aragon. You know, they just wanted to be accepted. Ingrid, together with the undead queen Nephebremas, decided to search far more land and allies. God, I need better eyes. For more land and allies. They traveled by ocean leading to the continent of Gromdor. There by landing, they saw their true enemy, the humans having a war with the unknown race for the orcs and undead, the Infernal Demons. Demons, yes. Immediately, the orcs and undead rushed into battle, helping the Infernal Demons win the battle and send the humans back to the continent from where they came from. Amazed by the skill in combat which orcs and undead had shown, the Infernal Demons made a vow to Ingrim that they will follow him in life and the afterlife as long as he and his people acknowledged the magical power of the Infernal Demons. This was the first time that the Sacred Order forces were truly dominated. You see what we did there? On the battlefield. Ingrim and the other leaders realized the power they possess all together. The domination was formed. A pact was signed with the blood of the race leaders. Shall we go through the races? Orcs, undead, which I presume they have goo instead of blood. Demons. Yeah, anyway, let's continue. No one can break the vow given that day. Orcs, undead, minotaurs, and infernal demons united took their place in the land of Aragon. They made a blood pact. Listen to me. Those are demons and some gooey undead queen, a minotaur, and an orc made a blood pact with the leader of the infernal demons. This doesn't sound that good. But let's show you the races and how they look. We have undead, which should be in place of the orcs, and the orcs should be in place of the undead. Since I think the orcs are more representative of the domination faction than the undead, which is weird. We got the infernal demons, which this guy looks drawn in like a comic book character. Pretty nice. And the Grontar. Now you might be wondering yourselves, where are the Minotaurs? You said you like the Minotaurs. You said there are Minotaurs in this. There's a story about the Minotaurs in the Secret Order thing. They mentioned Minotaurs here. Where are the Minotaurs? These are pig people. Exactly. There are no Minotaurs. I've shown you on YouTube, they have character creation for it. No, they don't. There are no Minotaurs in this game. There's only pig people. You've been lied to. I really detested this when I saw it. Because I really wanted to see the Minotaurs. Since, you know, Taurens are pretty cool. And instead of Minotaurs, we got pig people. Oh. And their story is interesting. Because you see, every race here has their own little pieces of lore. You know, like in Warcraft. You know, humans started as the spawn of Titan creations of the Vicru and stuff like that. But no, this one is interesting because it doesn't. Because the more you read it, the less sense it starts making. So let's go with my favorite race, or my new favorite race, the Gruntar. No, not the Minotaurs, because there are no Minotaurs in this. So let's go with the Gruntar, the pig people. And as you can see, the pig people are pirates. Which is even funny when you compare it to their symbol, which looks more Aztec, more, I guess, Latin American in nature, with the whole head dress thing and the golden ring. But he has his tusks and the golden ring, which I don't even want to get it into this. They're pigs. They're pig people. Cool boars, exactly. But worse. Worse than cool boars. Let's go through taking life by the tusk, which is your thing. The last of the Aragon races to spawn, the Gruntar are still not very fond of things like civilization, culture, learning curves, or soap. They are smelly, noisy, and ferocious, and take life by the tusks any way they like. Their only problem? Then the neighbors they share Minorath with, those lovers of the light, oink oink, grunt grunt. That's what it says, I didn't make that up. But fighting enemies is something Gruntar like more than, well, almost anything. Together with guzzling and lushing. Those four things. I don't know which one's for. They like fighting their enemies. And guzzling and lushing. That's three to me. But maybe I lost something. Maybe I'm losing my brain with this Scars of Honor game. Now let's go through some of their history and how they appeared into this world, which you're gonna like. Not too long ago, on the shores near the Living River's Delta, one special morning, the wild Gruntars woke up and found they had wits, wisdom, and memories. The night before, a true goddess stomped the land and plucked stars right out through the clouds. Her voice was a rumbling thunder. Cower before Grunta, children of the Fanghorn, she said, for I am your mother. The goddess then drew a lightning dagger and gutted the sky. The sea, the river, and the land became one, a wall of muddy downpour. That's how the Gruntars came to be. At least this is the legend the newborn Gruntids hear first. And then they learn that Grunta is a harsh mistress, and you should never expect mercy in the hands of one of the Chaos Gods. And certainly not if this is the Quake Mother. Yes, we have Chaos Gods, because Warhammer. And this is not the only one. There's weirder things. But the pig people can become pirates, which, they should be able to become pirates. Rangers, warriors, and weirdly they can become druids. I have no explanations for that one. I have no idea why they can become druids. The other ones kind of make sense. Looking at them, druids doesn't. But who am I to judge? Okay? Let's look at another race, the Infernal Demons. And this one's interesting. These ones can become warrior, mages, witches, assassins, rangers, and necromancers. And I think they are the only one that can become a necromancer, the only race. But let's go with a hunger that never ends. The Infernal Demons are the second race that was created by the old gods. I forgot which was the first one, so we're gonna have to learn that piece by piece. The Doomfather, as they used to call Grieftor, showed them the forbidden arts of dark magic. This dark magic provided a hunger for power that plagues the Infernal Demons, who will not rest until they control the lands of Aragon. I mean, if you ever wanted to play an evil race that was really, there with the evilness, this would be it. Let's go to their history. Their father gave them a gift no different than a gift given from a demon. Immortality, but at a price. In order to keep their immortality, the Infernal Demons must devour souls, so they're demons. A hunger that never ends. Wielders of the Infernal Fire, masters of Soul Leech, their strong worshipping of the Chaos Gods. You see, I told you there are more Chaos Gods. Made up unmatched witches and wielders of the Dark Arts, created with a single purpose, to destroy life. Hungry for souls, the Infernal Demons joined the domination in order to make their single purpose easier, to destroy the zealous humans. Why did they hate only the humans? It's never explained in this. Cunning, but brutal. Cunning, but honoring their treaties, the Infernal Demons formed their kingdom with the first Demon Lord, King Satanir, with the capital city of Blazan in the lands of the Dark Desert at Gromdor. Yeah? Can you all guess all the fiction this takes from? And again, I'm not going to judge for this because I do it a lot in my books, okay? I get it. But this thing... let's just say this. Doesn't really know where it's going, and the story is not telling you much. Let's go with the undead, since the orcs should be on the left, but let's respect a little bit of an order. Serving no one. Let's see what classes they can be. Warrior, witch, necromancer, mage, priest, and pirate. So they can be necromancers. Okay. I thought the Infernal Demons were the only ones. Mea culpa. The undead are dead humans which refuse to allow their souls to be reborn into another human. How? What? Anyway, who will live only to serve the old gods again. You might be thinking we have chaos gods and old gods. Yeah, we have more gods than this. We have so many gods in here. It's like basically Oprah Winfrey created them. Was it Oprah? Oprah. What up, Oprah? Oprah. Yeah, whatever. Let's see. They force the old gods to bring a curse upon them, somehow. The curse of the rotting flesh and immortality, so they will live forever in rotting bodies. To be never accepted back by their friends and families. Yes, they are indeed the Forsaken part, where nobody really likes them. Let's look at their history. The castaways from humanity. The undead numbers grow larger with every reused soul. Because of their growing ranks, they form their own community, distinct from the humans. They probably declare themselves as undead. Okay? They choose Queen Nepherimas to be their leader, as they saw her strong will and her fight for justice. She led the undead against the ones who denied them, the humans, and spread a plague inside Whitestone before attacking the city to make the ranks of the undead bigger, capturing Whitestone and converting it to Gravestone. I think I'm seeing a connection here. I think the undeads might be responsible for King Venduin's whatever thing. Why am I wasting brain cells with this? The one sacred white garden of Minorath, whatever, is now known as the Dead Swamps, ruled by Lady Nepherimas. Was she a queen? No, she's the lady, whatever. The undead first joined the domination when the orcish leader Ingrim regarded them as a living race of Aragon. But they're not living, they even call themselves undead. Why? Doesn't matter. Orcs, strong, brutal. Orcs are always cool and stuff they appear, even when they're the bad guys. Pride and strength. Instead of, blood and honor and stuff like that. 1,000 years after the First War, Aragon gave birth to the orcs. They popped them out of stone, I guess. Brutal savage beasts came directly from the deep soils of the Black Mountain, with the strength and size way beyond the capabilities of the humans or the Infernal Demons. Warrior, witch, ranger, druid, pirate. I never saw orcs that can become druids in games in general. Interesting. Orcs needed hundreds of years before they were able to form their first tribes and fight for their place in Aragon. After the events of the Second War and the union of the domination, the orcs led by Ingrim established their empire in the capital city Inamar. Like Ogrimmar. Yes. Located in the lands of Red Wastes at Gromdor. High Chieftain Igrim is the proud leader of the domination, and is supported by the leaders of the Infernal Demons, Undead, and the Minotaurs. Which, by the way, the Minotaurs don't exist. They mentioned them in the lore page of the Orcs, and they don't exist. We're not done, there's still the Sacred Order, remember. And, God, this dwarf looks weird. Let's look at the Baron. So, these are the Bear people. Warriors, paladins, druids, rangers, pirates. It makes sense. I think everything can be a pirate, right? Can everything be a pirate in this game? Anyway, the Unstoppable Force. The Barons are the third and last children of Aragon. I guess the first were the orcs, or the second? Whatever. Large, powerful, proud, and fierce predators. Once challenged, only death itself can stop these brute beings. Among everything, they praise the good food and the long sleep. Fools are those who try to stop a baron from his meal or interrupt his sleep. They're my kind of people. In the beginning, the baron race was spread wide and presented only by single nature wildlings. Years have passed and the barons faced them, the intelligent and prosperous race of humans, who are constantly eating food, often several times a day. Because the bears were hungry. The humans were not a big and fearful race, but had a way to live a more fulfilled life than the barons. The connection with the human race caused several wild barons to learn the power of speech, because they acted as Meowth from Pokemon. This was the turning point for the barons, who could now communicate with the other races of Aragon. Among all barons, one was truly wise, strong, and respected by all barons, humans, dwarves, and even the elves. Chieftain Ursan. Chieftain Ursan is the current leader of the Baron race and a respected member of the High Council in the Union of the Sacred Order. So we know they rule by a high union. Let's go to the elves now. Let's say warrior, assassin, priest, ranger, druid, but the druid kind of comes out of this cloth thing. They should really put that back in. Move it around, I guess. And no, the elves are the only ones that can be pirates, surprisingly. Affinity with nature has always been a core part of the High Elf belief system. They use the trees and plants as a resource to fuel their magic and are skilled in the art of stealth, being able to blend into their surroundings. From a young age, the High Elf young are trained to wield deadly ranged weapons forged from the very trees that they reside in. After the end of the First War, half of the survivors, looking for another source of purpose in life, decided to abandon their initial cause and travel together with the humans to Minorat. They headed to the ancient moon forest. There they became one with nature, renouncing the infernal fire and accepting the moonlight as their source of life. The moon goddess Elvin gave them the blessings of immortality and wisdom. From then on, they were known as elves. What were they known as before they were known as elves? Anyway, masters with the arrows, skilled assassins, and the greatest druid healers. Elves with their first queen, Queen Alessandra, formed the kingdom with the capital city Lunandel in the moon forest of Minorat. I give them points. This sounds more like Lord of the Rings than everything else by now. But yeah, the Warcraft thing is really there and you can really feel it from everything. Dwarves, let's see what they can become. Warrior, paladin, druid, priest, ranger, and pirate. Oh, okay. After the explosion of the Infernal Nova cast by the mad titan Grasmodan against Aragon in one of his attempts to destroy the planet, a great hole was opened in the high mountains. Humans, together with high elves, came to mend the wounds of the mountain, just to uncover the life beneath it, and there they found out something that has never seen the light. I like how they mentioned the light, like it's Warcraft. The dwarves were nothing close to what we know them today. They were beings great in number, small in size, human-like, but weak and nearly blind like mole people. Back in the day, they were known as Dwargards. Dwargs. I think Dwargs is the proper name. Creatures that are only interested in digging great holes inside the high mountain and keeping the mountain treasure inside. Many of the dwarves were badly injured during the attack, but the healing hands of the high elf druids were strong enough to help these small and weak creatures. Not so long after the incident, dwarves started to come out of the high mountain. Humans showed them the light and how they can use it to heal their wounded. Over the years, dwarves transformed into strong and smart beings, the dwarves. Using the teachings from the humans, the dwarves became devout servants of the light, not forgetting the skill of their ancestors, making them the greatest blacksmiths in the whole Aragon, with unmatched crafting and trading skills. A race that will fight to preserve their riches at all costs. A race that which will always stay connected with the high mountain. The dwarves, with their first king, King Goldbeard, nice name, formed their kingdom with the capital city of Torsgard in the high mountains of Minorat. That's weird. There are more people before, so yeah. See, it doesn't really make that much sense. Finally, the humans, the main characters of this play, they appear like in every story at this point. So they gotta have something interesting, and they must have the answers, right? For some of the questions from the other ones. Let's see. Warrior, Paladin, Mage, Priest, Pirate, and Necromancer. Oh, another Necromancer. Nice. The humans are one of the races created by the old gods themselves. Moral gods. Children of the gods of the Order. Humans are noble beings with a will for life like no other. Ever in the eyes of death, humans draw their strength. Even in the eyes of death, humans draw their strength from their unmatched faith in the sacred gods. Wielders of the holy light of life, they are the true warrior for the living. Amazingly intelligent, the humans can practice magic from different power sources. From birth to death, they follow sacred laws written by the first men. I saw Game of Thrones, House of Dragons. The first men part reminded me of that. The kingdom of the humans is the oldest in Aragon, and as such it had its moments of glory and its moments of near extinction. The first kingdom of humans was formed by King Lothar Methrin. You really went with Anduin Lothar and Arthas Menethil, didn't you? You smashed them together. Whatever can be mean about that, I mashed words together in my books too. Now I'm not above that. Let's be honest. With the capital city of Whitestone in the sacred lands of White Garden at Minorat, after Whitestone fell under the control of Queen Neferima, humanity was near extinction and evacuated. At the darkest hour for humankind, a new hero emerged. King Venuin Stonehill marched south and forged a new kingdom from the ashes, twice bigger than Whitestone, and the city of Whitesong was established in the lands of Storm's Valley and Minorat, giving the birth to the new era of the humans. Now, excuse me for a moment. I'm not sure what I'm reading here, because the story seems to have some vague connection to something, but there are elements and plots and holes that leave you more questioning what's really happening with this game and its story. So I'm not really sure what to say about it. I'm skeptical of it going anywhere. But if it does go somewhere, maybe having some proper gameplay to show wouldn't be a bad idea. And hey, if you're truly up for it, take me on. Make me your Christine Golding, even though I'm a man. Can't really do that, but you know. And I'm not really willing to, choppy off. But make me your Christine Goldwyn, and I swear I'll somehow make sense of whatever plot and ideas were there. And that's all. I'm not sure what to think about this. And in a month, I will probably never think about this game or anything about its lore and defects ever again. This was a nice time walking. At least I got to listen to good music while reading what's clearly an incomplete story, to be honest. It does feel very incomplete, and the fact that they're still working pieces and parts out with it. So, you know. Anyway.